Hello, I'm testing microphone for the live streaming. I'm audible.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Yashika Haritwal and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this judging round. We would like to thank our platinum sponsors, Dayfolio and Polygon, gold sponsors, Solana, Replit, Filecoin, and Coding Ninjas, our knowledge partners, Interview Buddy and Taskade, our in-kind sponsors, New World Society, Three-Way Studio, and our streaming partner, StreamYard, for their consistent support throughout the event. Today, we are gathered here to evaluate and recognize the hard work and dedication of the contestants who have put their hearts and souls into this competition. Introducing our judging panel. Mr. Gunjan Mande is a senior full stack developer currently working in Cloud Cover. His expertise lies in all major backend front-end technologies and databases, particularly Django, Node.js, Java, C Sharp, React, Angular, Vue, GraphQL, Neo4j, SQL, MongoDB, etc. He holds expert certification in Azure and DevOps related courses and has provided corporate training in major cloud technologies apart from being a full stack developer. He has also been a part of the panel for Smart India Hackathon and mentor for various hackathons team in his corporate life. Now, introducing our next judge. Mr. Joel D'Souza is a backend engineer at Newjay with expertise in GCP. He has previously worked as a full stack developer at Finance Sphere and as an associate software engineer at Carvalho. He has also previously worked in Skynotic Solutions Private Limited. He has created multiple projects. Some of them include moderation user reviews by consuming macroservers, voting system on byquality.com for the QA pages, and several other projects. We thank the judges who have taken the time out of their busy schedule to help us with the judging of the UNSCRIPT Rookies Hackathon. The judges today have a critical role to play in determining the outcome of this competition, and I have no doubt that each one of you is well equipped with the knowledge and expertise to make informed decisions. As we begin this round, I would like to remind you all of the criteria that will be used in evaluating the consistent performances. The criteria include, but are not limited to, impact, innovation, complexity, product, completion, technical feasibility, and presentation. It is important that we maintain a fair and impartial demeanor throughout the competition, and we should do everything in our power to ensure that they receive the recognition they deserve. So, without further ado, let us begin this judging round and determine best of the best. May the best performer win. Now, calling upon our first team, debugglers. Requesting the judges to kindly on the cameras.
Just give me a minute. Till then, you can start with the um, presentation.
Hello. When, like, how does it start?
Will you all be presenting from the same device? All four of you?
Yeah, we will be presenting from a same device. An app will be for another device. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that question. Do we have to show our app too, or is it just a presentation?
You have to show your presentation as well as your implementation of the application.
Okay, fair
Okay,
enough.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Uh,
do we start
Wait,
now?
just a minute. Yeah, I'll just go through the rules for the judging round. There will be a total of 15 minutes for the entire team's presentation, which includes presenting your PPT, the implementation, and the Q&A section round from the judging panel. And I will be signaling the team through the chat box to mark the time frames and on the 8th and the 10th minute. So, y'all
Okay,
may start your presentation now.
thank you.
Just shoot. Uh,
Yes, so we are now presenting our idea for a food bank app by the team debugglers, and the app is called Food Bugglers. So the objectives of the app when we started developing the app was to stop 100,000 kgs of food from getting wasted.
रुक जाओ, रुक जाओ, रुक जाओ.
Oh, is it not screenshot? Oh, okay, we are sorry.
No, not yet.
Oh, can you? Yeah,
Okay.
so to
Sorry.
start again, sorry. This is our proposal for a food bank app developed by the app is called Food Bugglers and it's developed by Team Debugglers.
By the way, we still can't see your screen. Joel, is that the case or?
Yeah, I can't see your screen if you're sharing.
Wait a minute. Can you now?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
now I can. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, now can you see the
Yep.
PPT?
yeah.
Okay. So to reiterate the point, this is our app. It's called Food Bugglers. It's made by the team Debugglers. Next slide. So the objectives of the app, there were two main targets. One was to stop 100,000 kg of food from getting wasted. As we all know, food wastage is a huge problem, and which is the entire purpose of this food bank app. The target two was successfully distributing 75% of the total food stock, making sure there is minimal wastage. So the agenda of the app, these are the frames that we are going to be displaying right now. So to go through what got us here was the problem statement. We had to make a food bank app, which would help reduce food wastage in the world and help the needy. Some of the proposed solutions by the problem statement were those of module rights, dashboard, and so on, which we have implemented in the app and we'll discuss later in the presentation. Right. So the backend working, we have used two frameworks, one Firebase for auth and the other one for Django. Now
Which is
Arnav will talk about that.
the Firebase is the auth, while Django being the database. The data of all the food and the users are stored in the database, while the authentication of the admin and provider is done by the FireAuth. The admin can see all the providers as well as all the food and verify the given providers, depending on whether the provider is trusted or not, so that the data can be controlled through the backend and also using the auth.
And in this diagram, the lock indicates auth, which we use Firebase, and the database is Django. It's a Django REST API. Now the user flow. So the user flow is pretty simplified. We have separate. So there is one admin. We can make even more admins. For testing purposes, we made one single admin, which is already present in the app. For providers and users, general users of the app, we have two separate signups, but a common login. The app, through its logic and through fetching from Firebase, decides whether the user is a provider or a user as per the sign up. The user, when they sign up, they can give feedback for the app, and they can view all the food in the food bank and various details related to it, as in the donation price, the quantity, the food item, image, and so on, and they can give feedback on the app. The other two things we look to implement were a location and search filter. Due to time constraints, we couldn't do this properly, but we have implemented frameworks of how they would look in the app. Now, as to the provider can has an inventory. The provider can be many things. It can be a religious organization looking to do community good. It can be a Samaritan at home looking to help the poor around them. It can be restaurants looking to dispose of their extra food in a meaningful way. So in the inventory, they can store all the food that they want to donate. And obviously, all CORD operations are supported in the food bank. The admin has all encompassing powers. It can view the providers, the food bank, and it provides verification to the providers so as to see if the provider is authentic or not.
So these are our wireframes. So the login page is this, and we'll be showing this login page afterwards. There are but we think its data, it has a outdated and old API UI. It does have a feedback system, and we also have a feedback system, but it has more experience and we have a lesser experience. They have a better user communication and the provider communication. We don't have a direct user and provider communication, give out direct communication.
And we have employed the provider or the customer. There is a forgot password feature. So if you forgotten your password, this sends a reset to your email. This happens via Firebase, the reset password. That being said, there are two ways to sign up. Let's say you are a customer, then you can haven't yet made an account, click here to sign up. And here you can make an account to sign up. This is the auth. And for a provider, we take an extra parameter of phone number so that the admin can talk to them, contact the provider, get an idea of how authentic actually the provider is.
It is for verification.
Yeah, that's what differentiates a user from a provider. So I am now going to log in 3 times. First, I'll do it via the admin. So as we said, the admin is appointed by us.
We have an admin dashboard, and the admin can basically view all the users and providers. And in the providers part, we have verified and unverified providers. So after maybe having a call with the providers, the admin can just verify them with the press of a button, and that is also seen. This is our loading page. I have used Lottie animations for this, and I have also stated our mission, why we have made this app. Continue. So now, if we add any
Providers.
So to add, there are two. A provider has to be verified by the admin first, which I will display later in the demonstration. So now you can see that there are 4 dummy providers, so to say, which are displayed on verified. And to confirm that this works, I'll log out after we are done with the admin and show you how it works by making a new dummy account. Now, this is for the providers. This is the admin dashboard. So let's say I want to see like anything. Let's say I want to see tomato. So it fetches this. It shows the date of expiry. It shows from where the provider is. It shows the quantity of tomatoes, price of unit quantity. And let's say as a user, I found out that, well, the tomatoes are rotten and that's not good, is it? So what I can do is just this. And yes, even both the admin and the user can do this, because even the admin has the rights to flag out a potential providers' mistakes even after verifying them.
Because the admin looks after the administration
So-
of providers.
So it shows a review which can be seen and people can get to know that, don't buy this, basically.
Or a good review.
Yes. And it can also see all the general users. Now we made 2 dummy accounts again. And these are the general users which they can see and manage. Now I'll demonstrate how it works. I'm going to make a provider. Right, so bear with me as I make the account. Dummy at gmail.com. Phone number, let's just take a random number, I don't know. For the password, let's keep it simple. We'll just do password and then confirm password. We'll again do password. Sign up. So it takes a moment. The account has now been made in Firebase Firestore.
Now we log in through the admin.
Yes.
We can see that the provider which we added right now is unverified.
So yeah, okay, sorry, she's right. I'll first demonstrate how it is unverified.
Admin.
No, wait, I'll first demonstrate to them how it is unverified.
We'll show it both ways.
Yeah.
Through the admin and through the provider.
So an unverified user will again landing page. Then they get another animation which tells them that the request is being approved
By
the admin, and we thank them for the patience as the admin does background checks in real life.
They'll receive a call from the admin.
Now, what does the admin do? The admin logs in again, Aryatal 26 at gmail.com. Yeah, correct. That's the admin pass.
Okay.
Yeah. Login. Now again the landing page. You go here. Now we can see that there's an unverified user. So in real life, you call them, you maybe go to their place, you check them out as an admin to see if they're legit. Then you verify them. And now you can see that the dummy is now also a verified user. Now let's go back. Let's log into the dummy again. Verification.com. Password, yes. We log in again. Landing page. And now the provider dashboard is present. So there is analytics. They can see weekly analytics, the number of donations in specified time period. We can add food items to our apps. And for the time being, this is a new thing. There is nothing to display. But when I add, let's say, mango, let's say I add 20 of those or 29, why not? And let's say the price per item is 40. And I enter. And then I go here. And then you can see that the mango is now in the provider dashboard. And again, you can click on this and see the details. Now, moving on to the customers. We had 2 dummy accounts initially made to check. We'll just log in through one of them. It's again password. It's
okay.
Bear with me. Yeah. So the landing page of the mission. So there are 2 places for the admin. This is all dummy data. The rupees indicates the quantity. So these were dummy values. So some of them we inputted them as 0. But in a real life scenario, obviously, the values would look more like how it looks for pulao, rice, or the recently added mango. For the location, we had planned that.
Wait to interrupt, guys. Kindly conclude your presentation in 2 minutes. We are running out of time. We need to go forward for the Q&A section.
Okay.
We are almost done.
We are almost done. This is the last feature. So yeah, the location we couldn't completely implement due to the lack of time. And yeah,
we have actually implemented this.
Yeah, and you can check that on GitHub. I think we didn't update the app. Yeah, this is an unforeseen error. But the location comes, but it's not properly implemented due to lack of time.
We can see a map.
And that's our app. Thank you for listening. And
Questions.
yeah.
If
We're
you
ready
have
for
any
questions.
then you can
Stop the screen share.
Oh, sorry.
Niranjan,
Joel, you want to go first?
Yeah, great UI by the way. Means very impressive what you could achieve in real time. Um, a couple of questions. So you said you worked like the backend is based on Django, right?
Yes.
But you used Firebase for authentication.
Yeah.
You are aware that Django has its own authentication. Like it
Yes,
has
we
its
are.
own.
So the situation was I knew Firebase and Arnav here knew Django. And I mean, it's a 24-hour hackathon. So to save time, we implemented them for completely mutually exclusive domains. Firebase only handles auth. It does not interfere in any way with the database. And likewise, we took part.
But I could have made a models like custom user models, but since we couldn't make an interface that translates the Firebase to the custom user model in Django in the given time.
This was done to save time, and yeah, that's it basically.
Also, Arnav is web
I'm a web dev
background, so
background, so I had to learn how to implement the Flutter apps.
yeah, so he was more comfortable with Django. So
So that's why we use that as the database and Firebase as the auth.
Okay. I mean, Firebase has its other features. So like you probably use just the email and password bit, right? But it has its own OAuth. Like you could use Google. Like some of those things
I
you
know.
do.
We
Yeah.
could have done all
Yeah.
that too, but we wanted a simplified login because this app will be used by not just privileged people. We want it to be used by people who are not that well versed with technology. So we kept login for everyone, whether it be the admin or whether it be a user just looking for something to eat.
Oh, okay. Um, Other question I had was, so you are verifying the user by calling the user, right? Like the admin will call the user and verify. Now, if we just have to verify belongs to someone, don't you think sending an OTP is like makes this use case better? So we know that this number actually is registered and belongs to someone. The admin, yeah, still has to call that person and verify whether that they have a legit restaurant
But
or
the
they
thing
have
is,
a.
sending an OTP would indicate that a number belongs to him, but it would not indicate if he is a reliable provider or not.
No, that, yeah, that I just stated that also, that okay, means you can verify that the OTP, like the number
Yeah,
belongs
I
to
can have
someone.
a number but still not be good at
But I'm
providing.
sure that when you're running a business of some sort, like you're running a restaurant of some sort, there must be some legal document you might require a restaurateur to upload. So don't you think that also would, like that would
Yes,
make
so
one job of the admin less?
We kind of considered like a smaller area, so because considering that food cannot like travel a lot of distance, so we considered that admins will be based in a certain area, and the certain locations like they can verify locations will have a different admins, and like that locations food bank can be accessed, like can be managed by that certain admin. So instead of like giving an OTP verification using like a call or a chat would be better. Like
we can always work on that later on.
we can also
But
expand the thing on a wider
yeah,
area
We can
in our
add
OTP.
additional
yeah, but again,
functionalities.
due to time constraints, we could only have one admin, and we had to like do a lot of stuff. So for the time being, we just made one admin and a simplified phone number checking system.
On the same note, if you guys are planning to popularize this application and add on a few features, what would be the main aspects that you want to target?
first of all, it would be locations. Second, it would be more admins. Because if we go for a very smaller region, it's not there's no point in it. So
We will
yeah,
also implement a live update system. Like if there is a surplus of food due to some reason, we can like the provider can send an update to all the users in that certain area, so the users can get notified that this there is a surplus and can access the data and like access the food easily.
We can also add user verification for the provider. Like if a certain number of users have
We can certainly make it more robust. We agreed that the phone number is not the best, but the time constraints.
one more thing that I thought was like giving a color coding system to our
Data.
searching bar. because by that we can show that how many days are left for the food to get expired.
Like if the food is very old, we can do it in red, and the food
Yeah.
is like relatively new, you can do it in green.
And
So it's easier for the user to
Yeah.
access, even
Maybe
if they
add
don't
some more
understand.
filters.
That
Yeah,
that
filters too.
that's fine. That's fine. Just one more question. The information that you're storing, let's say when you're giving the feedback to a particular resource, is it static or is it stored in the database somewhere?
It is stored in the Django database.
Can you quickly pull up the database? How is the structure? I just want to see.
Okay.
so
I'll have to join.
Arnav will join and screen share from his device. So please just give us a minute.
Yeah.
Till then, Joel, if you have any question, I just want to see how the backend architecture looks like. So
And
if
if
you have
you
anything else.
We can also
okay,
share the code in the Git, no?
no, it's not been uploaded.
कर दीजिए। Discord को फोन से आना ऐसे कर
Someone denied his request to join,
Yeah.
and I will stop my screen share too.
tell him to reach on I'll check it
Arnav Mijari. Okay, he's here.
all right
Just yeah, just a minute. I'll have to stop my screen share. Yeah, go ahead, Arnav.
Give me a second. Can you see?
Yep.
So these are the bank users, like the food bank users, that is the providers, which are once verified by the admin will be logged into this database. If we make a provider and we do not verify, it's not stored in the database. So hence we cannot add a food from the provider cannot add any food. So unless and until the provider is verified, he cannot add food. So
Hold on a second. I'll just ask you a few questions. There's no need to go into the entire presentation. Can you go to the users? I want to see how the user table is looking like, and
we haven't
how is go ahead.
we haven't implemented like a custom user model. We use the admin from the Firebase authentication instead of using a Django one, because we didn't have the technical knowledge to how to implement a Flutter app like to a Django database. But we could implement DRF, like basic get push put requests, and we gave in endpoints to the Flutter app which are requested by the Flutter app. So we didn't figure out how to make the users in the Django.
We engineered a workaround, and the users are stored in the Firebase Firestore.
Okay, okay. Can you go to the foods? Yeah, just
So
open up any.
if any random entry is shown, like the name, price, quantity, and the provider is stored.
Okay, okay, all right. I think that's all from my side. Joel, if you have anything else, you can go ahead, or you can conclude.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Team Debuggers, a great presentation. Thanks for your time.
Thank
Yeah,
thank you so
great,
Thanks for your
great
time.
UI and color scheme, by the way. Like, I really like the
Yeah,
design.
it will-
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
thank you
Have a
a
good
very
day.
impressive presentation by debuggers now we'll look forward for our next team thank
Thank
you
you.
Thank you.
Good
Can we
afternoon.
just wait for like 1 or 2 minutes till he joins?
Guys, kindly turn on your cameras and be ready with your presenting material. I'll just go through with the judges round till your fourth member joins so that we don't have any delay. There will be only 15 minutes for the entire team's presentation, which includes presenting your PPT and with implementation and the Q&A section from the judging panel. I will be signaling
Okay.
the team through the chat box to mark the time frame so that there's no delay. Kindly cooperate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. One of my friends is in the waiting room.
Judges, kindly note this is Team Innovative Minds.
Yes.
I think all the members have joined now. You all may start presenting.
Mithil is here.
Mithil, you are on mute.
Yeah, sorry, my internet's acting up a lot since morning.
Can we start, please?
So judges, what should we start with? The presentation or the app implementation?
The
App
presentation, just
implementation.
yeah,
Okay, we'll
just
start.
make it a little quick so that we can focus more on the app side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Invisible. So judges, first we are going to start with the problem statement. Surplus food management system. So the food bank app connects surplus food from local restaurants and supermarkets with those in need. And as per the problem statement, there should be three modules: admin, provider, and customer. And the admin acts as a administrator and provides and manages the application. He verifies the providers also. Providers can add food, update stock, and set locations. Customers can view available food, set a location, and see food item details. Easy Eat. This is the app's name. Easy Eat uses a simple, intuitive Google Map based design and easy to use user interface. We connect people who need food with the surplus food banks, helping the people as well as the environment. The tech framework that we are using the first thing is Flutter. We are using Firebase as backend, Dart as front end, and several API like Google Map, Razorpay, and we are also using Curvy navigation bar and Firebase cloud messaging, and we also use Firestore for backend. For future scopes, I would like to, I would ask Prerak to discuss
Yeah, show
this
the images
because
first, the Firebase images.
the
Yes. Yeah, so this is the screenshots of our Firestore database, the way we have stored data. So in the top right, there is the user panel where all the users are there, and we have roles, name, and email address over there. And in the collection, in this particular screenshot, it's not added, but in the collection, we have addresses where they have to set like address one, address two, whatever they want. And in the bottom left, we have a provider. A provider is basically a restaurant or a hotel or any food kitchen that have a they are verified FSSAI certified. Yes. So next. Okay. So I'll start with the demo of the app. Just share my screen
just discuss the future scopes, or you are sharing the app first.
after the app.
Okay.
Yeah, just let me
Yeah,
know
I
once
stopped the
the.
sharing. You can go on.
Okay, I'll restart the app to. So this is the splash screen, and while there is a splash screen, we are having a wrapper class behind that will be checking that which user is already logged in, so that he doesn't have to log in again. So for example, if I'm a provider and I'm logged in, then I will be directly going to the provider dashboard. So once we log in, we have our top three features, which is a food for all, an app that helps manage surplus food and redistributes it to those in need. Then we have a very nice locate the provider system, where we are using Google Maps API to locate all the restaurants or all the food banks around the customer to quickly just see which is nearest to them and what is better for them. Then we are open for anybody to apply for a provider, but just they have to upload their few verification documents. So we'll start with that. So here is the login page. I'll go with the sign up first. So over here we have the normal customer sign up. So if there is any new person coming up, he will sign up over here. So let's start with the register as provider. Okay, so I'll register over here. Yes. So just the image of the restaurant, and then I can have any name, for example Shiv Sagar, and then email. We are not checking for the email to be correct as of now, because it's just a testing deployment of the authentication, and the mobile number should be of 10 digits. The description can be anything.
I think your screen is.
Yep,
Yeah.
screen is froze.
The screen.
We can just see the email column right now.
It's fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for the network lag. And then we have to choose the exact location of the restaurant. For example, this was the Shiv Sagar restaurant. So I'll search Shiv Sagar over here. So there are a lot of areas that it is in. I'll choose the nearest to my house, which is the Kandivali East. It will automatically come here. And the FSSI AI number. So for now, we will put it a random number. It is a 12-digit number, same as the GST number. Then you have to upload Aadhaar card and the PAN card, which will be then verified further. So this is the Aadhaar card and the PAN card over here, and then you have to submit it. So once a provider submits their, so they will be automatically logged out, because login before an approval of the admin. So now let's log in as an admin over here. So the admin is uh, yeah, over here. So as soon as we log in, it will again send to the splash screen, and then again the wrapper class will come. So we are having very rigorous security over here, so that nobody can brute force and by like somehow go into the app without a proper login information. Okay, so once we come in the in the admin panel, we have our applications, and over okay, the Shiv Sagar is not currently coming here, I guess. Issue. I will go with the previously uploaded ones. So this is the DMart, for example, and then there is an Aadhaar card. So you can just see the admin will see the Aadhaar card verified, the PAN card, and the supporting documents. The ones I'll just approve few of them, Joey's Pizza and all. And they have approved, and then it will come in the history, the ones that are already approved over here. Okay, and once they are approved, now let's go to the uh, I'll quickly log out and show you the customer's perspective. So I'll go for, according to the user journey that we are having. Now so this is the main feature of our app, where a customer has a very good UI UX to go with. So over here we have few restaurants, few restaurants that have their food like this dal makhani is going to be expired in 2 days, for like for example. So dal makhani will be expiring in 2 hours, but over here we are having a bit bigger value threshold, so they can see from here, they can directly place an order from here and it will open a razor pay for the 50 rupees. So I had already paid for this just before the presentation, so it's showing paid.
Can you show something which like just show the Razor Pay wherein you are trying to pay for an item. So this is paid, right?
Yeah, like I guess I will have to create a new product listing for that, because we have actually tried all of them. Can I quickly just put a different link right now?
If it's going to take 15 to 20 seconds, then go not involved with the presentation.
This is the link that will be coming over here. So it's not very like very uh, seamlessly over here. So we have to put this in the button over there, and then the razor pay will be working.
Okay, I get an idea. You can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the page, and if we open the nearest food bank, this is according to my location over here, and the null locations by default come in the first place. So over here we have two uploads from Laziz Darbar, and similarly we can search for something. For example, I'll search for dal makhani over here. Okay, so paneer also has dal, I guess, somewhere in the description. That's why it's coming up. Okay, so we can search it like this, and then there is the main part of our Google Map. So what we have done is we have after the approval we have put veg and non-veg options for all the providers, like all the restaurants. So over here the green colors are the veg restaurants and the red ones are the non-veg restaurants, and we were also adding one more pin which is a different color for restaurants that do not have any food available in their food bank. But because of the time issue we couldn't correctly implement that, so we have removed that feature for now, and we have this veg and non-veg over here. So if we go to Dmart over here,
If the food bank doesn't have any food, then it does make sense to show them only, right?
yeah, but we were thinking the same in the judging round too. The judges told us that we should show them the food banks there, which are empty, because they may have a new food bank, or people can go there and like they just told that keep it grayish color or a blackish color, but keep it on the map, because a user can future like he can know in future that there is a food bank over there.
Your preference
Okay.
as the gray pen. We use the veg and non-veg.
Yes. So veg and non-veg was implemented early, and we were adding the gray one recommended by the judges. So in this we have a very shop comes up. Then we have a very simple profile screen which was not correctly, we were having some troubles with the mobile number and the username, and we can edit the profile and the same things. So now I will show you the how to add a new product, a new food item.
For that, we'll log in with the provider email ID.
Yes.
Only the provider or the admin are able to manage the food items and the inventory spaces.
So there are two options: upload food. So we can upload the food. For example, this is a pizza. I click the photo of the pizza. I'll put a description. Expiry date maybe like it will for 2 days, for example, and And once we upload, yeah, it is uploaded. So when we upload, it is coming to our Firebase backend, and okay, this is not currently working. So this is the uploading of food that can be done from here.
What is supposed to come in the orders, but like orders?
The orders should be like what orders the customers are placing. That should be coming over here. Like we have if I can show you the database over here. In the orders, we have this only one order. Like
Food,
it
food,
should be coming over
food,
there
food.
as a food. Okay. Yeah. So this will be coming over there. So when the customer places an order, it will coming to the respective provider. Maybe I have logged in with a different provider. Domino's Mumbai, we didn't order anything. Maybe that's why.
Yes.
Okay, no orders placed, which is why that.
Yeah, so basically the provider should know what people are ordering from the food bank.
Yes.
Okay.
Team, kindly wrap up your presentation in 2 minutes. We need to move forward for the
Yeah, so
question and
this
answer
is all
section.
in our app. So we have few different static features in our app, which is like even the same order panels, whatever a provider can see is all there in the admin the same way. We have just copy pasted the code and just kept it as the admin. Uh, like admin can see all the orders, not the providers one. So that's the only difference. And we are having a very rigorous checking in all our pages that nobody can go into a page that like we will also have this Flutter app as our web. If we got a bit of more time, we could implement it in the web. But the
Yes.
Google Map API was only supported in Android and iOS, so we couldn't make it as a web interface also. So we were thinking admin panel to be on the web.
Yeah,
Can you
actually,
quickly
ideally it would be great if admin panel has like a desktop web application. How do
Yeah,
you?
because we are coding on the Flutter, it is all same. We are coding in a good way. Like we are taking that in mind that we have to do it responsive.
Even
So
providers, if they were on web, no, that also would be great. Providers and
yeah, but
admin, basically everyone who handles backend data, sort of. Yeah, that.
yeah, we could have that, but only problem was that we didn't have time. Or else we could have a different app that doesn't have Google Map APIs installed in that, and we could host it on the web. But it's just copy pasting the code in a new app and hosting and doing some workaround for the hosting of the web.
Just like how there's WhatsApp and WhatsApp Business, two different apps. Inherently, they are the same thing.
Like Amazon seller.
Yes, Amazon and Amazon seller. Yes.
okay. I have a few questions in mind. Like first of which is why are we using Dart as the front end tech?
So
Like was there
basically,
any thought process or what was the approach towards it?
so Flutter is basically since if we see since last 4 years, React Native is kind of stable in their popularity, and Flutter is boosting up very fast, and Flutter is like very hyping, and it is used by everybody nowadays. It's very popular, and also it very nicely integrates with the Firebase. That's both are of Google, and Flutter is completely coded on Dart. Flutter is a framework SDK for Dart. So basically, that's the reason of using Flutter. And the second reason is we all four are Flutter are into Flutter, and we do not know any other alternative. So Flutter is the only go for us.
Also, the fact that Flutter is very cross-platform, it allows us to develop at Android, iOS, and web at the same time, which was our thought initially. But since Google Maps didn't work, we had to scrape that.
Yeah.
Can you
Uh,
quickly go to the register screen once?
Yeah.
Yes. This
Yeah.
one.
So how is this information exactly stored in the database? What is the authentication mechanism? Since you guys are focusing much on the security mechanisms, I want to understand how, as a developer, you are taking care of all the security related stuff that is passing through via this registers.
So we are keeping in the test mode. So for a quicker presentation, we can have very proper regex formula over here that needs characters and everything in a production build. So that is possible over here, but for the test we have kept it 1 to 6. So that's a security system that we can add. And then we check for email. Email is our basically our primary key, so that should be a different every time. So once we register over here, I'll open the authentication. So this is stored over here. There is a unique user ID. Now we do not know the password of the user. So in the in the database, if we go in this user, I'll have to, yeah, this one. So we are just saving the name, email, and the role. So whenever user logs in, we will get the email from the authentication, and we will check it with the Firebase, our Firestore database. What is the role of that user? And if it is a customer, then we will move it to the customer part. So we are using provider as our state management service in Flutter to store all the data. So once he is logged in, customer, the role, email, name, and the orders and the basic stuff that will be required throughout the app will be stored in the app itself, and it will be
So,
encrypted, of course, because Flutter by default encrypts it.
so the user needs to be part of your entire campus. You're registering.
Yeah, I didn't get the question.
Yeah.
Like
No,
you
you
have the
have, right?
Firebase with respect to the emails and because Firebase is an authentication store. So if a user wants to be part of that Firebase authentication store, he needs to be a member of that particular project, if I'm not wrong. So how are you exactly thinking about it? Let's say if I'm a new user, I'm coming in. If I don't have an account in Firebase, how am I exactly authenticate against a particular password if
No, no,
there's no
this is
user present?
basically against any email. We aren't doing it against any registered emails that are in Firebase. Anyone with any email ID can register through this.
Yeah, the registration is just with the username and a password, and the password is then hashed and then saved in the authentication. Nobody can access it, and we just get a unique UID of the account.
Only
Okay, one
constructor
last question.
email is unique.
Okay, one last question. So if a user has registered, he tries to log in later on by putting in his password. How is that matched against the password that is stored in the database?
So that is again, so the new password in the login will be again hashed. Hashed password cannot be reversed, but it can be hashed again and match it with the hash. So for example, my password is 123456. It is hashed in 250, like any SHA-20, like any
Shark.
hashing
Correct, correct.
algorithm, and the
Understand.
new, yeah.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Um, so I have one question in the admin panel. So you all had this UI where you all were checking the pending request, right, from providers. Then you had one more UI where you were showing the approved ones. So
Yes.
wouldn't it make sense to have some sort of filter on the pending page, like so you can filter out which are approved, which are pending, which are in progress, or something of that sort, rejected maybe.
So basically what we were planning is only not the registrations will be approving, also the new categories that a provider uploads, that should be verified, because he can't just put any sort of food item in his listing. So we were initially
Um,
planning to have that also. So that's why we had history where also the account approvals, the food approvals, everything was going to be happen, but we couldn't implement it. So we just have
no, my
registration.
I'm just giving a suggestion
Hmm.
that you all had this place where they were like pending verifications, right? So you all could use the same page for like getting approved and getting rejected verifications as well, by
Yeah.
just adding a filter that filter where like you will check the approved, pending, and rejected.
Sir, if I'm not
So
wrong, the ones which
that was
are
my
approved, they get
suggestion.
out of the list.
Yeah, they
Sorry.
get out of the pending list.
The one which we approve, they get out of the pending list. So in that case, we didn't fill for the filter, but sure, we can try.
Like the filter is basically the two buttons that we are having in the
Yeah.
history and the
Yeah, yeah,
approvals.
yeah.
If we add it in the same screen, then it will work as a filter.
History could be something like on what date and stuff they
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
approved and
Even
what.
the
So
expiration time and date, that
Yeah, but basically
all the
even
details.
that is everywhere. Like that will be also there in the pending approvals also, all the data that we are storing. The only thing is the approved ones are in the history and the pending ones are in the pendings. So basically there are two buttons. So if we keep it as a chip in the single scaffold, then it may, like, it is the filter basically, but a different approach.
okay, sure. Yeah, yes,
I
Yusuf.
just had one point to add. Perak, can you just share the screen one?
Yes.
We'll just take 2 minutes of your time. Just log on. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Just hot reload the app. Yeah, it's hot reload. Okay. So basically, in the expiring soon section, once the provider has he's been verified and he has uploaded a product there, it will be coming in the expiring soon section. So we thought of a business plan that here will basically have a algorithm matching algorithm which will help in filtering this. Like if he is a paid customer, then we will have his items promoted to the first of this list. Now he added a pizza, but this is
Sorry to
apparently
interrupt. We
yeah,
are running out of time.
yeah,
Kindly
just
hurry
second,
up.
just second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this, the pizza is added to the last of this list. So in case he's the paid membership, he has a paid membership or a app. So in that case, we can just promote his products more frequently. That was our business plan.
Sir, you're muted.
Sorry, promoted to whom exactly? Like the user itself or the
User, customers.
Customers.
no? So you're saying my orders, whichever I've bought from previously, you will promote it on the expiring soon, or is it
No,
like I
sir.
will?
See, if you are a VIP provider, that means even if your products are expiring soon, you will be
Oh,
put further ahead in the list.
okay. So if I like buy a premium subscription as a provider, not
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
correct, exactly.
Yes, sir. You got that.
Also, I'd like to point out, since it was in the program statement, a problem question we have added here is
Yes.
a provider restocks or the client orders some food, the client or the provider respectively will get notified about each of the events. But since the uh,
It is
Firebase
not
cloud messaging
working.
doesn't
Yeah.
work on iOS simulators, we can't show it to you. But we have tested it and it works on our mobile phones as well.
Yeah, you have shown on the
Okay.
app.
We can show the screenshot.
Yeah, you have shown on the round two evaluation. Just you can share the screenshot once.
Each time the database updates, we can send a notification to the customer saying that XXX item has been added if they're interested in it.
So over here, this is just a test that we were having at that time. So the FCM at the backend, the Firebase Cloud messaging will just send a notification. So this only works in a physical device. It's not working in simulators and emulators.
Question and answer round as we're running out of
Yeah.
time.
Sorry,
Sorry.
sorry for taking.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Can
Okay.
can we have a minute? Just the last
Yeah,
I'm so
slide,
sorry,
few
but other
seconds.
teams
I
are
think
waiting up
that
No
was,
in
problem.
the queue, so
yeah.
I'm
So,
really sorry about that.
yeah,
It was a very extraordinary presentation.
yes, ma'am.
Now let's call upon our next team. Thank you, participants.
Thank
Yeah,
Thanks
we
a
you.
await
lot.
the result. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much,
your time,
panel.
judges.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I'll quickly go through the judging rounds. There will be a total of 15 minutes of the entire team presentation, which includes presenting your present PPT and implementation, also the question and answer section. I'll prompt through the chat box according to the time frames so that we don't have any delay.
Okay.
You all may start.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kresha Mehta, and thank you for joining us today. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to our app that is Meal Movers. It has been designed to address surplus food management system, and we aim to reduce food waste by connecting them with surplus food from local restaurants, supermarkets, gatherings, etc. The main features include dual tracking of surplus foods, automated notifications, automated delivery, also a easy to use interface. Further, Vishesh will explain.
So, okay. So, firstly, talking about the technologies that we have used to build the app, for the first is React Native, Expo,
Excuse
Tailwind.
me,
Are you sharing your
are
screen
you
or?
I'll
presenting?
share it afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the
Okay.
technology
Can we
that
share
we
your
use,
screen?
yeah, I'll share from my phone. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Judges, the team name is Khamagani.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, after the introduction, we'll start. Okay. So, talking about the technologies that we have used React Native, Expo, Tailwind CSS, and for the database, we are using MongoDB. So, we'll directly start with the presentation of the app, with the demonstration of the app. Just a second. So this is the animation screen, that is a splash screen. So basically, there are three options in our app. One is the provider option, one is a consumer option, and one is a admin login. So what the provider can do, the provider can put details if he has food, if he has any items that he wants to share. So he can put it there. The consumer can access those items from there. And the admin login is to control all the things that are happening around and to make sure that everything is functioning smoothly without any problems. Okay. So we'll start with the provider section. So this is the provider dashboard, and is the first thing you can see is that your progress. So the number of items the providers donates, that could be that will be denoted here. Also, there is a leaderboard which will include all the providers that are donating regularly and that are on the top of the donation list. So there are two main functions on this dashboard. One is view items and one is add a new item. So whenever a provider wants to add a new item, if he has some goods that he wants to share, he can add to the new items, and through the view items he can see all the items that he has previously had. So we'll start with the demonstration of the new item. First is the item name. So item name I will put as Bikaner Save, suppose. Category, you can select any category. I'll choose packed food. The price is totally depends upon the provider. So what we are thinking of the app, the main feature, the main USP of our app was most of the things were free, so they were just for donation. Okay, so we'll just put price as 0. You can select quantity from here, 14. Then you have to select units, because every food item may have a different unit, that is kg or servings or like
For
that.
example, pizza has slices.
So for
That
this
way.
we'll choose packets. Expiry, so in how many days the packet is going to expire, you can see it there. And one is an image link. If you have the image of the if you have an image link of the product, you can put it there, but it is not compulsory. Okay, so we'll continue without the image link. As soon as we click on submit, we get an animation that your that the item has been passed. When we go to we can see that Bikaner Save is added today at 12:51 p.m. and because we did not put any image link, so there was a default image that was there. So this was all about the provider section. Now we'll go to the user section. That is the main thing of our app. So let's go to logout. Then consumer. So we have not put any login for the consumer, because what we want this app to be accessible to all, irrespective of validating whether the customer
is irrespective of taking the customer details. Okay, so as we come to the user dashboard, we get some categories that you can browse food by categories, that is cooked food, raw food, packaged food, and donations. In the donation section, everything will be absolutely free. You can order it from there. So now talking about the business perspective of our app. So it is important to also understand the business perspective of our app. So whenever provider donates something for free, okay, so whenever provider donates something for free, we will give them a token. We'll give them some points of our app. Through that points, he can redeem that points and run ads in our app itself. So what is the role of the user? So whenever user wants to order a free item, what he has to do, he just has to see a 30-second ad, and he'll get the item for free, and from that we can also make our revenue. So this is the categories. Then your popular providers which are there.